if I'm walking by and somebody's sitting on the sidewalk with a sign and I turn my head from them, or I give them a dirty look or something like that, and just in quick passing, I don't have to think of them as a person. So much easier to not think of a homeless person as a human being, because then you have to have emotions.
I started when I was about 13 years old. I started getting into a lot of emotional fights with my dad and physical fights while I was still in high school. And I was living with him at the time. I was being beaten and abused. It got to the point where my dad literally put a knife through my throat. The first thought in my head was, I'm gonna die. And I ended up having to stab my dad in the shoulder. Yeah. It was something I didn't want to do. I'm never gonna forget the images from it. I'm never gonna forget the amount of blood that was on me, top of that on my bed. I went from there to the streets. When you're out there, you barely ever get any sleep. I had a shelter built. I had blankets, I had a sleeping bag, I had everything I needed. I fell asleep, woke up, and everything was gone. Basically, when you're out there, you're basically where all the criminals are. A lot of people out here, yeah, a lot of them are on drugs, but I understand why. A lot of them needed some way to deal with the pain. A lot of people act tough. A lot of people are heartbroken, and they know it. I know it. I kept positive thoughts. I kept thinking positive, because when it comes to your sanity, that's another thing that could kill you. That's another threat right there. Another life and death incident. It's your sanity itself. I got sick and tired of all the shit that happened to me in Spokane, that I needed a fresh start, so I came out here, hearing that the programs out here are better. Psks itself is one of a kind.
People would be shocked to hear the kind of life, the kind of environment that many of the young people who are homeless now lived in before they left their homes. Probably the perception generally of homeless youth is that they are dropouts, and they may have been kicked out of their homes for valid reasons.
They look at us like a pile of trash, like, you deserve this.
You know, you see that person that really needs to figure out how to get some money so they can get something to eat or something like that. And so that becomes your basis of judgment instead of looking at a bigger picture.
I mean, like, a homeless teen needs to be able to find somewhere to sleep. And they're not some like horrible, you know, like robber. If they break into somewhere, maybe because it's below zero.
One of my main issues right now is, like, I wish, like, every person that I ask for the time of day didn't automatically assume that I'm asking for money or a cigarette. Like, time doesn't even sound like cigarette. Doesn't even rhyme.
I just block it out, and I just throw a tune into my head and continue on my day.
If you sit across the table with one of them, you will find that the distance between you is a lot shorter than you might have imagined.
If they would watch any kid that came in from the streets here, got resources, got housing, they would probably see them in school. They would probably see them as a really good worker. They would probably see them as a member of their community.
How should they treat us? They should treat us the exact same way that we treat them, with respect, with dignity.
I want people to know that these kids are worthy. They are worth the investment of time and money and emotion. They'll steal your heart, and that's something you have to be careful of here.
I do feel loved at PSKS. I feel like it is a personal mission for the staff to end up learning people's names and wanting to know their stories and wanting to know what they need personally to better themselves.
For being treated better than we've ever been treated, and it feels nice. People talk about always wanting to solve homelessness and always wanting to get people off the streets, right? They don't think they need to get involved. But in all reality, if the community itself band up together to end homelessness, you'd be surprised how quickly it would end.
We have given ourselves an opportunity to better our own lives in our own pace, in our own time. I went from believing that I wasn't going to make it to tomorrow to planning a future and planning a life and planning things I want to do 5 years from now.
I'm starting to regain a lot of things that I've lost due to 7 years on the streets. One of those things I lost was hope. Psks has helped to show me that there is hope. They've also showed me love.